What's up, HyperFast Nation? On this episode of the podcast, I'm going to tell you how to launch your real estate career if you're a new agent, or relaunch it if you are in a downswing. Stand by for this episode of the HyperFast Show. All right, welcome back to the HyperFast Show. Thank you for tuning in as always. I hope you are getting tons of value out of these, by the way. If you are a longtime listener or if you're a first-time listener, I hope you get a ton of value out of this episodes and the library of over 600 episodes that we now have on iTunes and YouTube and Spotify. If you could do us a favor, please leave us a 5-star review if, of course, you think we have earned that. Let us know in the comments, the reviews, wherever you write, what you think. And, we want to keep bringing more value to you. And when you do that, it helps us get more guests and other things like that. So thank you for your reviews in advance. I'm just assuming that you're going to get a ton of value and do that. Now, on to today's episode. I'm going to be talking about how to launch your career if you're a new agent, or this also applies to established agents. If you've hit a plateau, if you've retreated some in the last couple of years, as many agents have with what the market's been doing, this same guideline, these same principles will help you relaunch your career. All right, we're going to focus on 3 things today. There's 3 different parts, 3 different areas that I think most new agents, in fact, all new agents, I'll go ahead and say, and certainly, all experienced agents can focus on. These 3 things can help you dominate your market in the next 12 months, whether you've, just starting out or you've been in the business for decades. All right. Number 1, I want you to focus on your centers of influence. All right, your people, people from past clients. Right? How do you do that? Well, most agents do a bad job of, myself included at times, of keeping in touch with your personal circles, your personal sphere of influence. If you can do a better job of that, what will happen is you'll end up getting a lot more business that costs little to no money, right? You don't have to go out and spend a bunch of money on the latest and greatest so-called lead gen programs and work with a bunch of cold leads, right? We'll get into that in a second. But this really, working with warm leads is going to do wonders for your business. The best way to do that is through your personal centers of influence, your past clients. So what do you do? All right. A simple framework, and if you haven't, been in touch with your past clients, your centers of influence, you can do this as a relaunch. If you're a new agent, of course, you can do this as a way to launch your career, right? So step 1, I want you to send them a letter, what we call a letter of the heart. This is just a simple letter that talks about your personal life, right? And don't make it sound like amazing. And, even if you've got a lot of great things going on, you need to be vulnerable, right? Talk about the challenges you're having. Talk about the struggles you're having. Talk about the lessons you've learned from that. That will help you relate to people a lot better, right? They will relate more with you if you're open and vulnerable and share something that's been difficult for you. All right. So that's step 1, right? Letter of the heart. And then you're going to, print these out, send them in envelopes, right? The old fashioned way, right? Send them something in the mail that you sign. You can put a personal note on there as well, right? But it'll be the same letter that goes out to everyone, just something vulnerable from the heart, maybe a lesson learned. Step 2, after you do that, I want you to send them an email, right? If you haven't talked to them in a while, send them an email apologizing for not staying in good contact, right? If you're new, of course, the email will be something along the lines of, letting them know that you're excited about real estate, you're partnered with a great team, you're partnered with a great brokerage, right? Lean on the, if you're new and they know that, right? Lean on your brokerage or your team in this email. Step 3, after you've sent out the letter, after you've sent out the email, you're going to call them, right? And you're going to make the call about them. using the old simple Ford framework, right? What is that? That's family, occupation, recreation, dreams, right? Ask them how their family is. Ask them how their work's going. Ask them, you know, what fun vacations they've been on, right? What are they? You might not even have enough time to get to the last one, by the way, the dream part. Um, make it about them, though, right? The more you can make it about them, the better, right? Don't, even if they ask you about yourself, just answer quickly and move back on to them, and you know that will make them feel so much more connected for you, to you. You won't even have to bring up real estate, by the way. Um, so do that forward call. That was step 3. All right. Step 4, after you've done that, you are going to write a thank you card, simple thank you card, handwritten. Get a pen out, get an envelope. Again, old-fashioned way. Like, how many times do you get something handwritten in the mail? Right? Very, very, very rarely. So send them the thank you card, that you enjoyed the conversation. You hope they, wish them well on X, Y, and Z. You can stick a real estate business card in there too. There's nothing wrong with doing that, right? You're just staying on top of mind with them. Now, after you've done all of that, right, whether this is a new launch for you or a relaunch, you're reconnecting, right? Don't just neglect them, right? You've taken those 4 steps, right? You've done the letter of the heart, you've done the email, you've done the call, you've done the thank you note card. Now it's time to make sure they are on some type of continual plan, right? It should be a combination of inviting them to events, right? They don't have to be big fancy events. It can be simple little happy hours that you do, or get-togethers, or going, just little things, right? We've done screen on the greens pretty cheaply before for our clients. So do quarterly or semi-annual events. Put them on a regular market update email. 2 times a month is a cadence that we like, at least. And then put them on a quarterly call, right? Call them once every 3 months at least. That's how you build your centers of influence, get more business from people and past clients, right? You're just staying in touch, staying top of mind. Second thing that all agents can do, new or experienced, is hit the expireds right now. We are in an upswing in expireds, both from a seasonal and long-term cyclical timeline, right? So this is the time of year when you start to see more. This is also, I think, in the longer term cycle when we're going to see more expireds, right? The people that routinely call expireds using a platform like RedX or Vulcan 7 are going to get listings. And that, I don't care what the market is doing. I don't care, if prices are going up or down, or transactions are going up or down, or it's always better to have more listings. And if you can learn, and it's simple, and I've done tons of podcasts before on this, gone through the scripts, right? If you can learn to call expireds and make it just something that's embedded in you, something that you do no matter what, right? This will help you get listings. This will help you build your listing inventory, which no matter what stage you're on your business, this is critical. Right? It's the most important thing is get listings. Expireds will help you do that. It's a constant, daily, steady stream of listing leads, of sellers that have raised their hand and want to sell. They just didn't get it done because they have the wrong price, marketing strategy, or condition of the house. You come in as the expert, show them how to do that, get it sold. It's going to attract more expireds, right? So learn how to get really good at expired listings. All right, the third thing for agents looking to launch or relaunch their career is to get heavy in a geo-farm. This can be, where you live. It can be an area you get a lot of expireds. It can just be an area that you notice has a lot of turnover and does not have 1 or 2 or 3 dominant agents, right? So look for places in your market where there's not 1, 2, or 3 dominant agents. Now, I talked a lot about this in my book, The Hyperlocal Hyperfast Real Estate Agent. This is the strategy I used to sell over 22 million of volume in my first year. I niched down. I didn't go after like the whole DC area. I didn't go after Arlington. I didn't even go after one zip code. I really focused on a couple different condo buildings and townhouse communities. We're not talking thousands of homes. We're talking under 1,000. Really, I started with 200 to 300, and I kind of expanded from out there. And I got good at geo-farming. What did that look like for me? It looked like being very involved in the two different condos, right? I got to know the managers, the people who ran the buildings. I did events at each of those. I would do buyer and seller seminars. I got the email list and did a really good job of staying in touch with creating an email newsletter about what was going on in the area. I also layered in direct mail. And then, of course, once you get one or two listings in the area, you just start going more in on that, leveraging that, right? So using the open houses, using the signs to just really raise your awareness and branding in a particular area. If you can do, you don't even have to do all three of these things, by the way. If you get good at just two of them, you will crush it. And I would say if you can do centers of influence plus expireds or centers of influence plus the geo farm, that alone should be enough to have an amazing real estate business. If you can do all three, you're going to knock it out of the park. You're going to sell, 30, 40 homes a year just from those three things alone. Centers of influence, expireds, and a geographic farm. Those three things will help you. I promise you, those three things will help you crush it in any market, no matter what. You're going to get listings. That'll lead to an overflow of buyer leads, and depending on your structure, you can refer those out. You can use it to build a team. You can use it to build a downline if you're at a place like eXp Realty, and you will crush it. And by the way, we're wrapping up here, but speaking of eXp Realty, if you are interested in learning more about joining Keri Shull and I at eXp Realty and partnering with us, getting access to our coaching, our training, our help with recruiting and building your own teams, we would love to partner with you at eXp Realty. You're going to have lower caps, the best technology in the industry, access to things like our relocation program, our luxury program, stock awards, and the ability to build revenue share, which for many of you could be life-changing. If you want to learn more about that, all you need to do is send me a text message at 703-638-4393. Again, that's 703-638-4393. Thank you for tuning in to this episode of HyperFast Show. We will see you next time.